Yes, good morning, friends. Today, let us have a discussion on relationship, degree, role names, and recursive relationships. Recursive relationships. Got it. After that, we will going to cover weak entity type and identifying entity. Now, as you know that in the previous slide we discussed about the notations for relationship type. In ER diagrams, relationship types are displayed as a diamond shape, displayed as a diamond shaped box. Got it? Which are connected by straight lines, which are connected by straight lines like this. Assume that this is the diamond shape. Diamond shape relationships are represented by diamond shapes, and here these are connected by straight lines, and in turn these straight lines are connected by rectangle boxes. These rectangle boxes are entities. These rectangle boxes are entities. These rectangle boxes are entities. These rectangle boxes are the entities. Which entities? Participating entities. What is that participating? Participating is in that relation. Okay, employee and department. So their employee works for department. See here now. Here it is an employee entity. It represents, and another this thing is represented by this. This is department entity, and these are the participating entities which are connected to diamond shaped box with the straight lines. The relationship type, its name is given in the diamond shaped box, which are the name is given in the diamond shaped box, like works for, like works for, works for is a relationship, is a relationship. Clear? Now, is it understood? In a AR diagram, relationship types are displayed as a diamond shaped box which are connected by a straight lines to the rectangular boxes representing the participating entity types. The relationship name, which is that works for, is the relationship name, is displayed in the diamond shaped box, is displayed in the diamond shaped box. Now, this is the relationship type. Now, the degree of relationship, the degree of relationship type. What is the works for is a relationship type. What is the degree of that relationship type? The degree of a relationship type is the number of participating entities, entity types. How many entities are participating in this? How many entity types are participating in this relationship type? I am asking you people.
Two,
How
sir.
many entity types are participating in this relationship type?
Two, sir.
2. Okay, that is called as 2. 2 is the degree of this relationship type. What is this? What is the degree of this relationship type? Degree is 2. Degree is 2. Why? Because there are 2 entity types are participating in relationship type works for. Which are those entity types? One is employee entity type and another one is department entity type. Hope it is clear. Example, the works for is a relationship. The works for is a relationship is of degree 2. is of degree 2. Just now we have discussed employee and department. A relationship type of degree 2 is called as binary. If the degree is 2, that degree is called as binary. If the relationship is having the degree 2, then it is called as binary. And one of the degree is called as ternary. If there are three entity types are participating in that relationship type, okay, such this is called as relationship is called as ternary relationship. Got it? If the degrees are 2, binary. If the degrees are 3, it is a ternary relationship. Got it? Example, in next slide we will be having one image called ternary relationship, that is a supply. Got it? So we will see that. Now see here, now degree 2, here one is an employee and another one is department. One is employee entity and another one is department entity. These two are the entity types and works for, it is a relationship type. It is a relationship type. This is entity type. It is entity type and this is also entity type. This is also entity type. This is relationship type. This is relationship type. Works for is a relationship type. Now see here, now this employee E1, it is an entity set. See here, now E1 means, I will tell you, E1 means this complete. His first name is John, middle name is B. Smith, this SSN number, date of birth and his address, his gender, his salary and his supervisor name, number and department, in which department. So this is all together, it is a E1. This is a entity set. We are calling it as a entity set. This is E2. Second one is E2. This second one is E2. E2. Similarly, like E3, E4, up to there are 8 employees it seems. Got it? Now E1. This E1 person works for, what is the relationship? Works for department E1. See here, now in this department the employee E1 works for department D1. Okay. Similarly, E3 is also works for department 1. Then who is this? E6 is also, E6 works for, okay, what is that? Department 1. E1, E3 and E6 works for department number 1. Got it? Let me take a different color. Then E2 works for department 2. Similarly, who is this? E4 is also working for department 2. E4 is also working for department 2. Then who is working in the department number 3? That department number 3 is, who is working there? E5 works for the department number 3. Got it? Similarly, E7 is also works for department number 3. Means, so employee is a one entity type and department is a another entity type. Those two are related. Okay, those two are related Okay, that is how they are related. Works for employee, works for particular department, particular employee works for particular department. This is the relationship. Okay, this is called as association also. Who are associated to department 1? E1, E3 and E6, all red colored. Okay, they are associated to department 1. Who are associated, who all the employees are associated to department 2? That is E2 and E4. Who are associated to department number 3? E5 and E7 are associated to department number 3. Got it? So this is an example of the relationship, how the relationship, how the instances in the works for relationship set. This is, what is this? This is the relationship set. What is that? See where it is. Yeah, this is relationship set. What are those relationship set? R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6, R7 are the relationship sets. And similarly in this E1, E2, E3, E4 up to E7 are the entity sets. These are entity sets. Similarly D1, D2, D3, D3 are again entity sets, which represent the relationship type works for between employee and department. Is it understood? This diagram is understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, better I'll move to next. I'll show you supply. Then I'll come back to this recursive. Where is that supply? Yeah, here it is. Now, see here now. This is the ternary relationship. Why ternary relationship? See, supply is a relationship type. This is a relationship type. Here supply is a entity type. Entity type, it is 1. This is part. It is entity type. This is second entity. And project is also entity type. Project is also entity type. This is third entity. This is third entity. Now, see here now. There are 3 entities participating in supply relationship. Such a relationship is called as a ternary relationship. Got it? How these are related? Let me explain. Change the color. Yeah. See here now. There is one supplier. He is supplying particular part of the equipment, okay, for the particular project. Supplier S1, assume that I am a supplier. I am supplying pen. I am supplying pen for so and so project. There are project 1, project 2, project 3. Okay, for the project 1, I am supplying pen. See here now, this supplier S1, what he is supplying? He is supplying part 1. He is supplying this part. For which project? Project 1. For project 1. Is it clear now? Understood? Particular supplier supplies a particular part to a particular projects. There are n number of projects. Okay, he may be supplying for all the projects or you only one project. Now in this example what I have took, okay, supplier S1 is supplying part P1 to the project 1. Is it understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Same supplier, again, same supplier. Okay, same supplier, he is supplying again the same part. Again the same part to for another project. Again, same part by same supplier, he is supplying to the project number 2. Then again, the same supplier, he supplies part 2. Now he is giving a different part. Okay, different equipment, different product. Okay, to same project, first project. Already he has given the one part P1 to the project 1. This part P2 also supplied by the same supplier for the same project. Understood? See, try to understand this. Okay, if only supplier and project are there, what part he is supplying? That part we need, no? That's why we need one more. Got it? Similarly, this, what is this? Supplier 2. Okay, supplier 2. This supplier 2, he is supplying part 1. The part 1, that product is supplied by the supplier 2 to the project 1. Means the same part can be supplied by two different suppliers. Part P1 is also supplied to project 1 by supplier 1. The same part P1 to the same project supplied by different supplier. Got it? Similarly, we have, what is this? S2. This supplier is supplying P1 part 1 to project 3. Like this it goes. This is called as ternary relationship. It is called as ternary relationship. This is a ternary relationship type. This is called as ternary relationship types. Set. Relationship set. What is there in that ternary relationship set? R1, small r1, small r2, r3, r4, r5, r6, r7. From R7 you will come to know that S2 is supplying part 3 to the project 3. See here now. If you take any relationship set, okay, if you take this, what you will understood? Okay, what is this? So supplier 2, he is supplying part 3. He is supplying part 3. For which project he is supplying to this? He is supplying to this project 3. If you take this R2 relation set, supplier 1 supplying part 1 and for the project 2, like this. Is it clear now? Ternary relationship. Ternary relationship is understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me come back to this. Now, employee and supervisor. This is another relationship type. It is same recursive relationship type. Why it is a recursive? Because entities are both the same. Both entities are same. Now, if you take this, here it is an employee table. Here Individual employees SSN number will be there, and the same table which is having the supervisor SSN. Both these things are referring to the same table, employee table. That's called That's why it is called as a recursive. That's why it is called as recursive. Now see here now, why it is a recursive? Here it is relationship type. Here it is a relationship type, and here it is a entity type. Here it is a entity type. In the previous diagram, here one entity type and another one entity type. There are two entity types here. That's why it is called as a binary entity type. In the sales, that ternary relationship, salesperson, part and project. There are three entity types, ternary. Now in this example, there is only one entity type. That's why it is called as recursive. See here now, how? Here employee 1 will be there. This employee, okay, don't worry about this 2 and all. Okay, this employee, okay, is having the relationship. Who is the supervisor? That supervisor is E5. For the employee 1 who is supervising, that E5 is supervising. E5 is supervising employee 1. Got it? So then similarly we are having this kind of things. Again employee 1 is supervised by this E5. Got it? Like this, such kind of relationship is called as a recursive relationship. It is a relationship between the supervision and employee. Supervisor role and the employee in the subordinate role. Okay, he is the supervisor. Where is that? He is the supervisor and supervising particular employees. Got it? This kind of same, only one entity type will be there in that. Okay, same entity type is participating in the relationship type. Such thing is called as a recursive relationship type. Got it? Then here employee manages department. This employee, who are all, it means that who are all the managers here? Who are all the managers? So employee 3 manages. What is the relationship? R1 is manages. What he manages? Department 1. Employee 5, he manages. What he manages? He manages department number 3. Employee 6, who manages department number 2. Like this. So this is again a binary relationship. So employee and department are the two entity types, participating entity types, and in the manages relationship type. What is the relationship type? Manages. Got it? Now employee works on project. This also again one employee works on particular project. Got it? See here now, if you understood, later it will going to come, so you can understand this. Let me clear here. See here now, employee 1 works on particular project P1. On project P1. Got it? Then employee 2 is also works on project P1. There is one project. For that project there are two employees working. Who are those? Employee 1 and employee 2. Got it? So for particular project there may be one or more than one employee who can work for. Who is working? More than one employee can work on a particular project. Got it? Similarly, see here now, employee 2. Employee 2, he works on project 4. Means employee 2 he is working on project 1 also. Employee 2 he is working on the project 4 also. So it means that same employee can work on project 1, project 2, project 3, any number of projects. Same employee can have a more than works on more than one project. This is one part. And project can have more than one employees. Is it understood? Understood? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
One employee can work on more number of projects, and project will also have a more than one employee also. Got it? Now, this is about supply Turner relationship. Up to this relationship type is understood, all of you? Is relationship
Yes,
type
sir.
is understood? Is the concept
Yes, sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You don't have any doubts, no? Okay,
No, sir.
fine, good. Now, constraint on binary relationship types. Constraints on binary relationship types. What are those constraints? We are having the relationship now. We have studied the constraints on entities like a primary key constraint, not null constraint, other constraints, unique constraint, okay, mix, max, min, value constraint. Like this, we have studied constraint on the entity type. Now, we will go to study constraint on binary relationship types. Constraint on binary relationship types. We have studied these binary relationship. This is also 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 binary relationship. Because two entities are participating in the relationship type. That's why it is called as binary. This is a not binary. It is unary. Got it? Now, see here now. Relationship type usually have a certain constraints. Relationship types usually have a certain constraints that limit the possible combinations. That limit the possible combinations of entities. Means how many entities needs to be participated. Possible combination of entities that may participate in the corresponding relationship set. How many employee can work? Okay, employee can work on how many departments? Employee can work on how many projects? This is what? Okay, there is some constraints. Example, if the company has a role, what the company has a rule that each employee must works for exactly one department. Each employee must work for exactly one department. I am having the rule that I must work for MCA department. Earlier Girish sir works for CS department. Now he works for completely MCA department. So Muthalik sir, he works for mathematics department with different projects. Project 1 is he teaches in B first year, he teaches in M.Tech first year, or he teaches in MCA first year. So these are the projects, but he works for mathematics department. Got it? So what is the company rule is? The employee must work for exactly one department. This is the rule. Okay. So then we would like to describe the constraint in each schema. So we have to mention it, no? We have to describe that. Whenever you are having the rule, so those rules must be put it on the schema, displayed it on the schema. Got it? What are those constraints? First one is there are two main types of constraints in the binary relationship. First one is cardinality ratio. What is that? Cardinality ratio is the first constraint which is there on the relationship type. See here now, don't get confused with this relationship type constraints and entity constraints. Entity type constraints are not null, unique and primary key constraint, etc. But here in the relationship type constraints, one is cardinality ratio and another one is participation. Another one is participation constraints. These two are called as constraints on relationship types. Which relationship type? Binary relationship type. Is it clear now? We'll discuss cardinality ratio and participation. Okay, these two constraints in detail. Now, cardinality ratios for a binary relationship. The cardinality ratio for a binary relationship specifies maximum number of, say here now, maximum number of relationship instances. Maximum number of relationship instances that an entity can participate in. That entity can participate in. The cardinality ratio of binary relationship specifies the maximum number of relationship instance. Maximum number. Okay, how many employees can work for department? How many employees can works on this department? Okay, so whether it is only one or more than one, what? Or 10 members, 100 members or n number of. So this is the maximum number of entities can participate in this relationship type. Okay, so each employee must work for how many departments, whether it is a 1 or 2 or n number of departments. That is, see, just now in the previous slide we have seen every employee must work for only one department. Got it? Means 1. See here now. Example. In works for relationship, department and there is one department. Which are the entities? Department will be there and employee will be there. These two are the entity types which are participating. What is the cardinality ratio of this? 1 is to n. One department, there are n number of employees. There are n number of employees. For particular department, you can have 3, 4, 5, 6, n number. N can be any integer values. So for one department, headquarter department, how many employees are working? 1 employee is working, or 3 employees are working, 5 employees are working, or 100 employees are working. Got it? So all those employees, n number of employees works for only one department. Which department? Particular department. Either it can be headquarter or it can be sales or it can be other things. Got it? This is an example. Now, see here now. The possible cardinality ratio for binary relationship types are, which are the possible cardinality ratios? One is 1 is to 1, one is 1 is to 1, second one is 1 is to n, and n is to 1 and m is to n. These are the 4 possible cardinality ratios. These are the 4 possible cardinality ratios. Okay, we'll see one by one. So, hope you understood what is cardinality ratio and why do we need it. So, by looking which are the possible combinations of cardinality ratios, let us look at one by one these things. Now, employee must manage this department. I'll ask you one question. For each department, how many managers will be there? For each department, how many managers will be there?
3, sir.
How many?
3, sir.
Madam,
1, sir.
one manager, one department, one manager.
1, sir.
Yes, for MCA department, only one manager. For sales department, one manager. For CS department, one manager. For mechanical department, one manager, means HODs. Here manager means HODs. Got it? So one department, one manager. But there are so many employees who can work for that department, but there will be only one employee who is working as a manager. Got it? So cardinality ratio will be 1. Cardinality ratio will be 1. What is the cardinality ratio? So one employee can work for works as a manages one department. One employee, E3 manages D1. E6 manages only one department is D2. Okay, then E5, this E5 manages the department number 3. Only one employee can manages that particular department, one department. Hence, in each department there will be only one manager. Is it clear now? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we'll see another one. One employee and department, number of departments. See here now, this employee E1, employee E1, if I am an employee, I work for, okay, department MCA. This is MCA. Got it? Only I can work for only one department I can work. Got it? See here now, for the same department, assume that this is Girish sir. Girish sir is also works for the same department, MCA department, and assume that this is Aarti madam. Aarti madam is also works for the same department. Now, is there are 3 departments? No, it is all together only one department. See here now, I am also works for department D1. Girish sir is also works for the same department D1, and Aarti madam is also works for the same department. For the same department. Here for the department, what is the value? The value is 1, 1, 1, 3. Because all 3 of us are working for this. Got it? Now all of, let me remove this. Okay. Assume that it's not there. 1 is not there. What is the cardinality ratio? See, employee works for department. In each department there are more number of employees. Hence, cardinality ratio is 3 here in this example. If you take a CS department, there are more than 10. Okay. So, here cardinality ratio is n and here it is 1. Here it is 1. So, all the employee, see here now, this employee 2 is only working for department number 2. Employee 4 is also working for only for the department number 2. But department number 2 is having 2 employees. So, its cardinality ratio is n, and its cardinality ratio is 1. So, hence, works for relationship is having 1:n cardinality ratio. So here it is an employee, entity, and is to and department. How they are? What is the cardinality ratio of employee and department? 1:n. Is it clear now? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Now we'll see another one. Employee and project. Just now we discussed in the previous slide, employee 1 can also works on the project 1. Okay, here that employee is working on only one project. Now if I take a employee 3, better it will be employee 3. This employee 3, where is this? Yeah, this employee 3, this he is working on project number 2. This employee is working on project number 3, and he is also working on project number 4. Project number 4 means the same employee can works on different projects, means cardinality ratio is n. Cardinality ratio is n. Okay, n can be 1, 2, 3, anything. Here in this example, cardinality ratio is 1 for the employee 1. For the employee 2, it is 1, 2. For this employee, it is 3. Or again, employee 4, it is 1. But I am taking it as a 1, 2, 1, or 2, 3, 1. It has a n. In the previous example, see here now. This employee is also 1, 1, 1. He is not participating in any of the other department. Only one department he is working. That's why it was 1. In this example, the same employee can works on different projects. So hence I am taking it as a n. What is the cardinality ratio? N. Now, if I take this project, what is the cardinality ratio of this project? So if you take a P1, let me take a different color so it can be easy. Now, see, if I take a project P1, for this project, employee 1 is also working. Okay, and employee 2 is also working. Okay, means here there are 2 employees are working. Here for this project 2, only he is working on, working on only this person. Only E3 is working on the project 2, means only one employee. In the project 3, who are all working? One is employee 3 is working, so, and one more is employee 4. Employee 4 is also working. Hence, its cardinality ratio is 2. Similarly, for the P4, this project, okay, which is this? This person, what is that? E3 is also working and E2 is also working. Hence, this cardinality ratio is also 2. Hence, here also 2, 1, 2, 1. Hence, I will take it as a either n or m. I will take it as a m. Yeah. Here, see here now. Here one employee he is working on only one project. This employee, he is working on 2 projects. Okay, P1 and P4. So he is working on 2 projects. Here it is 2, and this third employee is working for 3 projects, and the employee 4 is working for 1 project. Hence, this cardinality ratio I have taken it as a n. Therefore, employee is to project. What is the cardinality ratio? N is to m. N and m these two are integer numbers. Got it? N can be 2, n can be 1, or n can be any value. M, similarly for m is also 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. Got it? Is n is to m is understood? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
sir.
fine, good. Now what is time now? Oh, okay. This participation constraint and existence dependencies we'll discuss tomorrow. Time is up now. Okay, hope it is clear. This, what are those? 1:1 we have studied. Okay, only one employee can manages one department. One employee can works for n number of projects. Okay, or vice versa. One employee works for one department, and n number of employees are working in one department. Okay, like this you can take, and m is to n, both of them are same. Okay, see here now, this is all about the cardinality ratio for binary relationship. Tomorrow we are going to discuss this another constraint on relationship, that is participation. Okay, here we are going to study whether that entity is participating totally or partially. Like this we are going to study about those things. With this I conclude today's class. Thank you, take care, be safe.